Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dazs, and today we're going to discuss the most sought after information on YouTube for any FPS game. It is how to master your recoil control. While recoil is not difficult on Apex Legends, it can definitely ramp up quickly when you factor in distance and you want to potentially one mag an enemy. The biggest tip is the movement required to control recoil is not as much as you think when pulling down. Another big tip is aiming center mass and letting recoil do the work for you when it pulls up. Also vital is having a strong understanding of recoil. Alright, let's dive into the test range and break down recoil patterns and utilize exercises to master them. It is important we break down that recoil patterns for Apex Legends guns are consistent when you ADS with your gun. Your field of view does not change your recoil pattern. No matter if it is high or low, it will remain the same. You can test this in the test range and see it also. What you're seeing is strictly visual, as a tighter FOV field of view will make recoil appear larger than it is. An example on screen is the R99 pattern. You will see it kicks initially to the right and then left and does a swerve at the very end. A pretty standard rule is light weapons pull right initially, so you need to pull down to the left, and heavy guns pull left initially, so you need to pull to the right to counteract. Energy weapons focus on unique patterns on their own, so they vary on that initial pull. Spend some time in the test range and really master these guns. When in the test range, it is important to get used to the recoil at various distances. Work on this close range on the target dummies, then do medium range on targets and aim to obtain as much damage as possible, then long range hitting the targets that are extremely far away. And of course, remember to count for bullet drop. While it is important to master this recoil in game, you also need to isolate where the problems are with your foundation. What you need to do is create a foundation and base so any recoil pattern can be achievable. This can be done in Aim Lab using this list of scenarios. First up is MicroStarTrack Precision. This scenario will help you adjust to tracking a really small target, but that movement can get you used to recoil control on Apex Legends. This scenario goes into a star pattern and is vital to see where you are weak with your aim. Is it your left? Is it your right? Or perhaps you're overshooting by overflicking because the sensitivity is too high. Or perhaps you're overflicking because it's too low. Ask yourself these questions as you track. MicroStarTrack Speed is next. Recoil is really quick in Apex Legends, specifically with the R99, and sometimes it can be a little overwhelming even with the R301. And if you are too slow, you won't be able to keep pace with the recoil and track on your opponent. This is where MicroStarTrack Speed will help push you to build up that momentum. This is similar to the precision exercise, but you're going to see a tons more speed. Now with Valorant, Ascent tracking is up next because while you're controlling the recoil, you need to adjust to be able to track a strafe in front of you. This is similar to controlling an SMG similar to an R99 or a Volt spray in a 1v1 fight on Apex Legends. Some tips are: if you're too loose with the grip, you will lose speed to adjust for the counter strafe. If you're too tense, you lose fluidity when tracking. So find a healthy balance for you. Now Startrack Standard is a good segue to finding a nice fluid movement. Aim for at least 100k in the scenario if possible and keep pushing yourself. This scenario you'll see if you stutter with your aim, but also the uncomfortable angles when tracking. If you're not used to these uncomfortable angles, then adding recoil on top of it is going to be very difficult. It is why it is on our playlist. Then finally, SphereTrack Precision. It's going to add all kinds of verticality and give you the feel when being precise with recoil and tracking someone who is moving around. This scenario is one of my personal favorites when warming up to Apex Legends because you'll notice right away if you're jittery for the day or you need to remove any unnecessary tension. Try to focus on using your full mousepad and not lifting until absolutely necessary. To recap, what we have covered are 5 scenarios in Aim Lab to build a foundation for your aim. We broke down recoil patterns in Apex Legends, exercises to utilize in game, and also putting it together with effective tips. Be sure to check out this playlist now for free on AimLab. Also subscribe here on the official AimLab channel and check out the description for everything at your fingertips. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.